You are about to enter the Chrome Dome.
Alrighty, Chrome Domers, welcome back. I'm Old Bald Guy. We are in our Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Supreme Leader Kylo Ren free-to-play challenge. Man, that is a mouthful. Probably had to come up with a shorter title for that. And it's been a very disappointing week. So first, let's go through where we're at on the account, and then we'll talk about a few other things. We are in week 18, coming up on, what is that, almost 5 months into the account now. Obviously, we have been 85 for a few weeks now, and we're picking up a little bit of steam here. We picked up a little over 50,000 galactic power. We did finally manage to get Slave 1 to 6 stars actually this morning, and was able to finish the final tier of the Zeta Challenge because it requires 5 6-star ships, and I only had 4. So I had to get one more. I could have done that much faster had I decided to just go ahead and keep farming First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter, but I did not. I just waited for it. Probably should have in hindsight, but I didn't. Other than that, everything is moving along smoothly. As I mentioned in the last episode, we were really focusing on farming our 6 primary GAC squads, gearing, leveling, abilities, etc. And that is really slowing us down on other things, but we have to have that so that we can keep the income going. No major changes in our farming process. We did manage to 7-star First Order Executioner, and now are on our final Cantina farm, which is Veteran Smuggler Han. He has no team. He is going to be sitting at 7 stars for a really long time before we finally relic him. He'll be like the last one we relic. So, whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and get him out of the way, and then I will start working on relic mats to start relicking all the requirements that are right here for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Outside of that, we did finish off Jango to 7 stars. Zam is like 2 shards away. I'm just waiting for 2 shards to drop, so I have to buy it from the store, and it's not a huge urgent thing. Same thing for Boba Fett. He's a few shards away. I could finish him anytime I wanted, but I haven't. On our ship farm, we're making progress, but it's slow. And another thing is we are now spending 525 energy a day on refreshes. We're doing 4 regular energy refreshes, 3 ship refreshes, 1 Cantina refresh, and a hard node refresh now, which is where the extra 120 energy is going to, and that is on KRU's command shuttle. It is the furthest behind of all of our farms, so I want to try to speed him up, and that way we'll finish a little closer to 9 months than 12. And as you can see, TIE Advance is going along great. Slave 1 hit 6 stars today. Vulture Droid is getting there. Anakin Starfighter is actually not part of the farm. He's just there to help us along because he's a good tune, and I have extra ship energy to do that with. The bomber's moving along. He's at 4 stars right now. Xanadu is coming up on 5, and Houndstooth is coming up on 5 as well. So they're moving along. We're about halfway on those, but still halfway. Like, if I take a look here, this guy is what is he? Is 330 minus 60 is 271 shards, I think it is, away from finishing. So even at 3 shards a day, by double farming his nodes, 271 shards, that's 90 days. That's 3 more months on Kylo Ren's command shuttle here. That's a really long time. I mean, that puts us at, we're coming up on 5 months. That puts us at 8. And then we have to do several finalizers to get that finished. So we've got a ways to go on the ships, and that's a big concern. It always was a concern. I mentioned in the very first video when we were planning this out. But outside of that, everything else is going fine. We are able to get into the top 5 in fleet every day. We're getting a ton of resources and crystals. Now for the disappointing side of things. GAC was canceled this week after the first, actually 1.5 matches. We were 1-0 going into a match that I think we were going to win. I don't know. He never attacked, so I don't know what would have happened. I managed to emergency clear one side just for the 200K in credits. So I don't know what would have happened, but there will be compensation. It'll be restarted at some point. We do start the conquest in 23 hours and 42 minutes. So about noon my time tomorrow. That's great. Actually, it's 11 my time tomorrow, which is great. I don't have something to do, but I'm a little frustrated that GAC got canceled. But that does mean we'll probably hit the 10 squad level much earlier than we expected, because we're not going to get a whole nother season. We were going to finish this season, not make it to, not promote out of this division, get into another season, and then we would promote. But now we lost 2 weeks, so we're going to promote about 2 weeks earlier. I do expect us to promote, I should say, and that's a bit of a challenge. So one thing I wanted to talk about is, first of all, if you have not already, you should join the Free-to-Play Nation. I'll put it in the description below of the Discord link. It's a great resource for anybody that is working on a free-to-play account and enjoying this. A lot of creators are there, including Intimidation, Free-to-Play Padawan, etc. And one of the conversations that we have had on that Discord server is, how do you properly spend credits? So one of the key things that we've said is it is critical to have a very strong character in a squad. So like right here, I've got Commander Luke Skywalker. I can focus him and make him really strong, and he can carry the squad to punch up much higher than a 66k, especially on defense. Same thing down here. We've seen how good Vader has been with a mediocre squad around him. Same thing down here for Grievous. I'm going to bring him up and let him carry this squad that's very mediocre outside of him. So when you're trying to use your credits at a intelligent way, don't just, and first of all, don't do what I did, which was throw a ton of credits and gear into a squad that doesn't need it. Like, I mean, the Geos were a good investment because they were all pilots, but like I didn't really need Poggle at Gear 11. Or is he Gear 11 or Gear 9? Yeah, Gear 11. I really didn't need him at Gear 11. I really need him at 85. Squad Arena matters not, and granted, they are a very good GAC hold team, but they'd be just about as good without him. And with him, just pop down a little bit. The Padme team, it was fine. I mean, General Kenobi is our latest investment. But I could have put a little less effort into Ahsoka. I could have put a little less effort into Grandmaster Yoda. That kind of thing. And a little less effort into Bastia, because they're not the key members of the squad. This Jedi squad runs with Qui-Gon Jinn and JKA. That's pretty much it. The rest of the squad is just there to fill it out. Same thing down here for Empire. Darth Vader runs this squad with Palpatine. The rest of the squad is just filler. If I had a Relic 5 Vader right now, that guy would just wreck right through everything that was a Gear 12. Wouldn't matter if everybody else down here was just Gear 8 or not. Doesn't matter. So spend your credits wisely. The other thing to talk about is mods. So when do you spend money on leveling up a character, and when do you spend money on mods? So it's about the same thing to take a character from 80 to 85, or to take all of his mods from 1 to 15. It's about 1.5 mil either way. So my approach has been level them to 80, then mod them to level 15, and then when you're ready to, come back and finish leveling to 85. So Marge 8 here is at 81. Her next project for credits is going to be to finish off her mod set. That's going to help her a lot more. And so that's the approach that we're taking with that, and we'll see how that plays out. But it's very important to manage your credits and get your teams, because our teams are much stronger than they were 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we first hit 85. Much stronger, but you have to spend your credits wisely. And I probably overspent on my original squads because, honestly, Ahsoka probably is pretty key to the squad, and Grandmaster Yoda does a lot of damage. But I didn't need them to be Gear 11. I could have stopped them at Gear 10 and gone to somebody else. I didn't need to get all of their. I probably do want all their abilities to 7, but ability mats are another big issue, and spend those wisely. You can look down here at Grievous. He's carrying the squad. He's 12k of the 41k for the squad, but I'm still working on his abilities. I did go ahead and Zeta Metalloid Monstrosity, which was the key for this squad. Whenever a droid or separatist ally is defeated, Grievous dispels all debuffs on himself, resets all ability cooldowns, and gains a bonus turn. So now he's going to steal banners, period. Unless you can one-shot Grievous. And if you're coming in here to one-shot Grievous, then you brought way too much power anyways, and that's a win for me. And so this way he's going to steal pretty much 5 banners from every team that comes in here. And he might even beat them. Who knows? He powers up pretty quickly if you come in with if they come in with a little 50k, 55k squad, Grievous is going to wipe the floor with them. So, and we'll build this squad up, and we'll build this squad up, and we'll get there on everybody being 85 at some point. But that's just not realistic with the current level of credits that you get at this point in the game. So, with that, I don't know what's going to happen next week. I don't know if there's going to be a GAC or not. They said they would restart it probably next week. We'll see when, and we'll see what the compensation is. But as soon as GAC starts, we'll do some more GAC series. And if it doesn't start, then we'll be back in a week on Sunday for another update. Until then, OBG out.